It took 8 quarters of football, but the 2010 AFL premiership flag has finally been claimed. Collingwood seized the win in emphatic, clinical style. The final margin was 56 points. St Kilda's inaccuracy didn't help its cause, but in the end it wasn't decisive. It was a game that rarely reached the heights of last week's first encounter, but that won't worry the Magpie faithful.
Saints and Magpies fans turned out in droves one more time to get their side over a finish line that's already been extended.
Come on, boys, just do it for Multi.
I've certainly got a lot more sleep this week than what I did last week.
2 grand finals a week apart is enough to test anyone's stamina. It wasn't just the players who needed a final lift.
Why is everyone being so quiet? Start yelling! Start supporters!
They may have needed a prod, but the fans finally came to life. By the time the players came out, the roar inside the MCG was deafening. When play got underway, it was Collingwood that started the stronger. Tyson Goldsack was dropped for last week's final, but he was first on the score sheet this time around. St Kilda found the early going tough, and the Magpies weren't making it easy for them. Heath Shaw brilliantly snuffed out this chance. The Saints kicked 7 behinds before finally getting one right in the second quarter. But it looked like being Collingwood's day. By half-time, the Pies had a commanding 4-goal lead. St Kilda recovered from a similar deficit last week, but Collingwood seemed to have learned its lesson. Alan Didak's second goal was one of the day's best. The minor premiers were putting last year's losing finalists to the sword and loving every minute of it. At three-quarter time and with a 40-point lead, they must have felt history was within their grasp. And when Dale Thomas stretched the margin to more than 50 points, the result seemed all but certain. The only thing flowing quicker than Collingwood goals was club president Eddie Maguire's tears as his side coasted home. Stephen Milne's second goal of the game was little more than consolation.
Tears of joy here.
The Magpie fans knew the Premiership Cup was in the bag. The final siren confirmed it. The joy for Collingwood was obvious. The pain for St Kilda was just as clear.
To the supporters, I just feel so tremendous for you boys who have stuck with us through good times and bad.
Scott Pendlebury picked up the Norm Smith medal for best on ground, but picking up the Premiership Cup must have been sweeter. After a 20-year drought, the Magpies are back on top once again. Tim Callanan, ABC News, Melbourne.